Lena had spent years struggling to keep her family's failing merchant business afloat. The once proud shop, nestled in a forgotten alley of a city that had long since outgrown its humble roots, had seen better days. The shelves were now cluttered with unsold goods, and the customers were few. Desperation gnawed at her soul as she considered the future. Was there any hope left? One evening, as Lena went to the attic to fetch some old crates, she noticed something strange. Hidden behind a pile of dusty boxes was a faint glow, pulsing gently like a heartbeat. Drawn by curiosity, she cleared away the debris and found, to her astonishment, a shimmering portal. It rippled like liquid gold, swirling with light, inviting and mysterious. Without fully understanding why, Lena stepped closer. As her hand brushed the surface, the portal quivered, and a voice echoed from the shadows behind her. "Are you sure you want to go through with this, merchant?" She spun around, heart racing. In the doorway stood a figure cloaked in a long, dark robe. His face was hidden by a hood, but his voice was unmistakable, a strange mixture of warning and pity. "I know what you seek," the stranger continued, "but I warn you, to take the gold that lies beyond will cost you something precious. Something you cannot replace." Lena paused, uncertainty flooding her heart. The weight of her debts, the hunger of her family, the looming collapse of everything she had worked for. All these thoughts clouded her mind. What could be more precious than her wealth and survival? The portal beckoned again, more insistent now, its glow intensifying. "I can't afford to hesitate," Lena whispered to herself, then stepped through the portal. Lena found herself in an expansive cavern, the air thick with the scent of old stone and rich earth. Before her lay a vast treasure vault, stacked high with piles of glittering gold coins, priceless jewels, and artifacts beyond imagination. Her eyes widened in awe. This was more wealth than she had ever dreamed of, more than enough to save her family, to restore her shop to its former glory, and to live a life of comfort. With trembling hands, she began to fill her satchel with gold coins, her heart racing with the thrill of victory. But as she did, the strange voice echoed again in the air, colder this time. "Remember my warning, Lena. What you take will come at a price." She hesitated, but the thought of her family's suffering drove her forward. She ignored the voice, determined to take whatever she could carry. In the dim light, a glimmer caught her eye, a single diamond, larger than her palm, resting atop a pedestal. It seemed to pulse with a light of its own. She couldn't resist. She snatched it up and, without another thought, hurried toward the portal. Lena returned to the attic, the portal flickering out of existence behind her. Her heart pounded with a mixture of excitement and guilt. She had done it. She had secured the wealth she so desperately needed. But as she stepped away from the portal, she noticed something strange. The reflection in the dusty mirror on the far wall was not her own. It was distorted, a withered version of herself, her skin pale and drawn, her eyes hollow and sorrowful. Lena froze. Her breath caught in her throat as the reflection seemed to reach out toward her, silently pleading. "Stop. Please stop." It whispered, its voice a distant echo of her own. She stumbled back, shaking her head. Was it a trick of the light? A mere illusion? She turned away, trying to ignore the unsettling image, but it lingered in her mind. Days passed, and Lena reveled in her newfound wealth. She paid off her debts, bought new inventory, and watched as her shop flourished once more. Yet something was off. Whenever she passed a mirror or a window, her reflection was the same, withered, hollow, and distant. It was as if the gold she had taken had drained her vitality, leaving behind only an empty shell. One night, unable to bear it any longer, she confronted the mirror in her bedroom. The reflection stared back at her, its eyes hollow with despair. "Why?" Lena whispered, her voice cracking with the weight of guilt. "Why didn't I listen?" Her reflection tilted its head, as though acknowledging her words. It raised its hand, pressing it against the glass, as if trying to reach her. Lena's own hand shook as she placed hers against the mirror's surface. "Everything you gained came at a cost," the reflection said, its voice now a chorus of echoes. You took the treasure, but you gave up yourself. In that moment, Lena realized the truth. The wealth she had accumulated was not a blessing, it was a curse. Her reflection, the image of what she had once been, was fading with every passing day. She had gained everything she had desired, but in doing so, she had lost herself. The gold would never be enough to fill the void. The treasure was hollow, and the price she had paid was a price she could never undo. And so, Lena's fate was sealed. She would be rich, but forever haunted by the reflection of the person she had once been, the person she had sacrificed to the vault of gold.